Hello fellow Sudokans, welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle. It's Monday the 18th of March 2024. I almost couldn't see that without I'm going to put my glasses on, I think. Eyes are a bit blurry, I could hardly see the screen clearly. Yeah, that's the date. This is the Guardian's easy level Sudoku game, a real beginner's game. So if you've never played the game before, I always give an explanation of the rules and how to play the game in very basic terms on a Monday. What's going on in the rest of the world? Apparently, surprise, wait for this surprising news, Vladimir Putin has won the election in Russia. What? Wow, I can hardly believe it. And his score of the votes, proportion of the votes, apparently just 87%. Just 87%. Seems to be slipping a little bit. I think maybe he's losing his grip. We would expect something at least in the 90s. Okay, let's get on with the game of Sudoku, shall we? How do we play this game? We've got 9 squares across in every row. We've got 9 squares down in every column. You can see there are some numbers already filled in. 2, 8, 4 and 7 already filled in this column. We have some empty squares, and in each of these empty squares we will place a number. Now, since there are 9 squares, the numbers range between 1 and 9. Each number can appear once only because there are only 9 squares. But wait, there's more. Well, kind of there's more. There are these small 3 by 3 blocks that also require the same thing, numbers 1 to 9. So 1 to 9 there, 1 to 9 there. So in this particular block we already have 2 numbers entered. In this block here we have 5 numbers already entered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just checking. 5 numbers already entered. So we're just looking for 4 more to finish. And actually we can find one of those numbers very easily. How do we go about doing that? Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 7 and 8. So we have the numbers that are missing are, well, we don't have 4, we don't have 5, we don't have 6, and we don't have 9. Those are the numbers that are missing. But the 6 we already have in this row. And what does that mean? It means that 6 cannot reappear in any square in this row, because number can appear in its row, column or block once only. So because we know that 6 is already banned from this square and this square, there is only one other empty square in this particular block, and so we can say for sure that 6 must fit into that square. And this is the kind of logic that will enable you to finish the puzzle, and that's basically it. That's all you need. If you can do that, that's everything you need to be able to finish the game, really. The other thing is to be able to look a bit. So, okay, over here we have 1, 3 and 7 in this particular block, and these empty squares will contain all the other numbers that are not 1, 3 or 7 up to 9. And in particular I want you to focus on digit 4. Now, as I say, we have to look around the digits that are surrounding. So if I click on this 4, you actually get 4s highlighted on the computer program here that I'm using. And so you can see that we have 4 in this row. What does it mean? It means 4 cannot reappear in this row. So none of these 3 squares can be 4 because of this 4 here. We have a 4 here. And what does it mean? It means 4 blocks across here, banning any other square in this row from becoming a 4. So we now have all of these squares where 4 is banned. And we have 4 in this column, blocking up here, meaning 4 can't appear in this square either. So I think you're getting the hang of this already, even after just one digit, and now we're looking for our next digit. 4 blocks across here and up here, leaving just this one white square, and we know that the 4 must appear there. That's it. Right, so now we just have to kind of keep looking around the board for things that we can find. We have 1 blocking down in these 3 squares here, so none of these 3 squares can be 1. That means 1 has to be in that square there. Then we'll take the one that we just put in and say that it blocks right the way to the end here, so these 2 squares can't be 1. And we've got another 1 blocking across here like this, and that's going to leave just this square here for a 1. We'll take that one that we've just filled in, say blocking up here, 1 blocking across here and 1 blocking across here. Again, just 1 empty square. We know that the 1 must be in that square there. We'll take that one that we just used. You see how we're using the digits that we just placed to help us find the next position for that digit. 1 across here. I hope this is not too fast for you. 1 appears there. Now if this is too fast for you, you can always rewind and watch it again. So let's see, now we've got 1 blocking up here and 1 blocking down here and 1 across here, and this is in fact the final digit 1. What do I mean by final digit 1? Well, you can actually see in every row across and in every block and every column down we already have a digit 1, so there are no more digit 1s to be found in this particular grid. So we can forget digit 1 now, we're just looking for the other numbers. But what are they? Where are they, I should say. Okay, so now what I'd like to teach you now is a little bit of a kind of thinking ahead. Okay, we have 3 missing numbers here. We've got 3 numbers that must appear in these 3 squares. The numbers are 2, 3 and 7. 2, 3 and 7 appear here. Now when we look across here, we've got a 2 there, we've got a 3 there, but that's it. We don't know about the 7, so we don't know which is which. We do know that 3s can be in those squares, 2s can be in those squares there, 7 could be anywhere. So we're not really convinced that we have the answer yet, right? But we can find a couple of different things for this. So if we imagine that 2 is either here or here, 2 is going to block up here like this, right? Somewhere up there. So none of these other squares can be 2, because it doesn't matter whether 2 is here or 2 is here, it's still going to block up there. So because we understand that 2 is either here or here, all of these other squares are blocked. Okay, and now we've got 2 blocking across here and 2 blocking across here. So that means that this square here must be 2. Like I say, if any of this is too fast, just go back and watch it again. Let's imagine there's a 7 here. We know there's a 7 somewhere here. And let's apply the same principle. We know that the 7 that appears in one of those 3 squares will block up here. Whether it doesn't matter which one of these 3 squares it appears in, it will block up here. And now we've got 7 blocking across here. So that's going to give us 7 in that square there. Hopefully that was okay for you. Okay, now this is quite good. We have 3 empty squares in this block here, and the missing numbers are 4, 5 and 9. We have everything else. 1, 2, 3, there's no 4 yet, no 5 yet, 6, 7, 8, but no 9. So we know that 4, 5 and 9 have to be in these squares here. And when we look around and we consider this square here, we ask ourselves, can it be 4? And the answer is no. Can it be 5? And the answer is no, because both 4 and 5 appear in this column. So if that's the case, this has got to be 9, because it can't be 4 and can't be 5. Next, let's consider something else. If these 2 squares contain 4 and 5 now, only, right, then these squares here cannot contain 4 or 5, because we've got 2 numbers in 2 squares, so this square and this square can't be 4 or 5. So let's see what we have in this row now. We've got 1, 2. Do we have 3? No, we don't have 3. We've got 4 and 5 here. We've got 6, 7, but we don't have 8. We've got 9. So what that means is that this square and this square must contain digits 3 and 8, because 4 and 5 are in these 2 squares here. So we know that this square and this square can only contain 3 or 8. Now, when we look down and see that we have an 8 here, we know that this square can't be 8, because that's going to block up there, right? So if this can't be 8, then that has to be 8. And now there's only a digit 3 left to get in this top row. Okay, like I say, if it's too fast, go back, watch it again, and I promise you will get there. 3 blocking down here, 3 blocking up here will give us 3 in that square there. Still can't get this 4 or 5. We have to come back and look at that later, because we don't know which is which just yet. Okay. So where else do we need to look? Where can I guide you? Okay, we have 8 blocking this square and this square, because a number can appear in its block only one time. So this square and this square can't be 8, but we don't have 8 in this column yet. And so we're left just with 1 square for the 8, and that must be there. Now there are other ways to find that information. You could have said 8 blocks up here and 8 blocks up here, and so 8 must be in that square there. So it, you can find the same result in different ways, but it will always be the same result because there is only one Sudoku solution. 8 blocks up here, 8 blocks down there and up here, and 8 blocks across here. So that will give us an 8 in that square there. Right, where are we? Missing numbers in this column. Let's see, we only have 2 empty squares. We've got 1. We don't have 2 in this column. Now immediately I can see 2 in this block. So I know that 2 is banned from all of these squares here, right? So that means there's only one other empty square in this column, and that means that the 2 has to be there. And now we have just 1 empty square. So I've, even without looking for the 2 missing numbers, I found just 1 missing number and did that first. And let's see what's missing from the column here now. We don't have a 5. We've got everything except 5. If you check, okay, so that must be a 5. And now we have 5 blocking across here and 5 up there, which means that that will be a 5 there. We also have 5 blocking across here, which will put 5 into this square. And now 5 blocking up there and 5 across there means that that is, oops, 5 in that square there. Two blocks down here and 2 blocks across here, leaving just that square there for a 2, and 2 blocks across here and down there, meaning that must be a 2 there. I'm going a bit faster now, trying to, because I think you've got the hang of how to play the game basically, so I think you can follow it. It's not too fast, hopefully. 6 blocks down here and 6 blocks up here, that's going to be a 6. Six blocks this square. Now in this column we don't yet have a 6, so 6 blocks this square here. That means that the 6 has to be in the only other empty square, which is up here. And now 6 blocks across here, giving us the 6 there. 8 blocks across here and across here, meaning that's our 8. And finally here for this row, we still need a 9. We don't have a 9 yet, so let's put the 9 in. And now in this block and in this column, we're only one number missing. And of course, it's going to be the same number. It's a 7. Whether you need it look down the column here or whether you look within the block, it's going to be the same digit. 7 also blocks down here, giving us this 7 there. And now there's only one number to get here, which is 6. And 6 blocks up here and across there, which means that that's a 6, and that's the final digit 6. We now have all of the 6s. Now there's just one number missing from this column and one number missing from this column. Doesn't matter which one we look for. We will get it. 9 is missing in this column, so let's put in the 9. And now 4 is missing in this column and in this block, like this. And now when we come over the left, there's just one empty square here, and that's going to be filled with 9, I think. We still need a 9 to complete this block here. And what else? We have 9 across here, and down here. I'm getting pretty hungry. It's definitely time for my breakfast, so I might go a bit faster. 9 blocking up here, 9 across here. Hopefully not too fast for you. 9 is now finished as well. There's just one empty square to be filled in this row. It's a 5. We don't have a 5 yet. Let's put in the 5. One number to be filled here, which is a 7. That's either for this row or for this block. Same thing. 7 goes there. 7 blocks down here, 7 blocks across here. That means that's a 7. And now 7 across here and 7 across here will give us 7 there. We still need a 2 to complete this row here. Oh, sorry, hit the wrong key. There, proof that I never play these games ahead of time, or nothing is pre-recorded. This will be a 3 to finish this block here. 3 blocks up there, that puts a 3 here, and this is a 4. 1 number necessary for this row here. I think it's a 3, isn't it? Yep, 3 there. So what's left? There's 1 number missing from this column here. Is it an 8? I think it is. So 8 goes there. And not much more to go now. 2 numbers are missing here. We're looking for 2 and 4. So when I see the 2 blocking from up there, I know the 2 goes there. I know the 4 goes there. 4 blocks all the way to the top, meaning that's a 4. And just for this row, for this block, for this column, and for the whole grid of 5, we'll do it. That's our easy level game for a Monday. There are plenty of other easy level games on this channel. You can see if you click on the list. So if you're new to Sudoku, practice, and then try to go on to the medium level games, especially in the Guardian, because they're also pretty easy. Okay, take care, bye bye.